Hello, friends. 828 days of war between Russia and Ukraine. Before I talk about the ground situation, let me talk about what is happening as far as NATO and Ukraine versus Russia. The situation is developing. As per the informations, and it is open to all of you, that 11 countries belonging to NATO have said there is no bar on their weapons given to Ukraine to use in Russian Federation anywhere they desire to. Biden also seems to have given a green for Ukrainian army to use American weapons, but still in adjacent areas to Ukraine. And they want to feel how the Russian Federation is reacting, slowly breaching the red lines, not in one go like so far they have been doing, and they have reached to this position. But Zelensky, in the meantime, has asked weapons with ranges of 550 kilometers and longer. Lavrov reacted, the Russian Federation Foreign Minister, that US and NATO are ready to do anything within Russia. Yes, it is known. And he further says that if Kiev is given green light, Moscow will interpret it as war escalation. Putin has spoken on this and very important issue, that he says what Jens Stoltenberg and others have said about long range missiles. Firstly, he does not understand them much. But if they mean that they want to give Ukraine long range weapons, what does it mean? He says to use them, they need highly skilled personnel, like for Storm Shadow, and which needs space based reconnaissance and like ATACMS, and it cannot be done with or by the Ukrainian military, except one or two. Secondly, he says those who are giving these orders and talking like this must be aware the meaning of these weapons, like they are going to use against Russia, and without being used by the Ukrainian army, they should know, especially the smaller countries, that what are the stakes like. Very chilling. However, I wonder if Russian military as well as civilian leadership will take this mission also, this crossing of red light also, like earlier, or will they retaliate really? Let us see now, let us come down to the ground situation. In southern war zone on Kherson towards Krinsky, Kozachi, Leheri and to Novosky Bridge, the hostilities are low now and no changes. Zaporozhye front, Rabotino, Verbov, fight is continuing, no changes. Rimivki salient, Russians have advanced little bit in both Staro, Mayorsky, Eurozone and areas between the two. In east on Marinka front, Ukrainians are continuing their counter-attacks towards Krasnohorivka. Though no changes, Russians' offensive operations in the area of Novomikhailovka and Volodymyrivka towards Ugledar direction continues with some minor gains. Avdiivka, coming to specifics, Russians have advanced around the areas of Netalov by 200 meters in north and south, towards Yasno Brodivka 100 meters, Umansky, west and north 200 meters. They have also advanced between Sloviovo, Bodichi regions. Fight is continuing around Ocheretin. Bakhmut Russians advanced 100 meters north of Canal micro districts, also in the vicinity of Klishivka and Bohdanivka they advance. North Soledar Siversk region, they advanced 100 meters towards Bolgorivka. Northeast, Russians made gains towards Berestov, approximately 100 meters, and after a long time, in Sinkivka 200 meters from the eastern side. In north of Kharkov, Volchansk direction, Russians' offensive operation continues and made some gains, and by now they hold 50% of the city. Towards Lipsky direction, Ukraine's counter-offensive or counterattacks with two platoons did not succeed, no changes. Interdiction missions. Last 2 days, Ukrainians are continuing their offensive attacks in Crimea Kerch port. On 29th May night, using USVs, that is surface vehicles, and 30 May morning, 8 ATACMS, and used also UAVs, damaging port and some civilian ships. They've also used 6 USVs hitting in Uzka Bay. 2 UAVs also were reported in Black Sea. Russian army launched attacks against Ukrainian targets in Vinnytsia, Poltava, Kharkov, Khmelnytsky, Zaporozhye, and infrastructure and airfield in Odessa direction regions. Palestine Israel Middle East. Slovenia has decided to recognize Palestinian land. By the way, Slovenian Prime Minister has been discharged from the hospital and now he seems to be in better health. In northern Gaza, IDF has withdrawn from Zabalia as it feels that its task is over. In South Gaza, IDF holds still Philadelphia corridor or crossing and seems to have expanded its control zone around here. Hamas resistance is continuing. West Bank, 20 Palestinians are detained. Hezbollah shelling has reduced in recent times. China is hosting Arabs Cooperation Forum, and it says that it is for justice for Palestine and two-state solution is the only thing that it is looking forward for the peace. US wants in the meantime European Union to take harsh measures against China, against its trade expansion and as well as its policy towards Ukraine and Israel. Lastly, you all must be aware that Trump has been declared guilty by Manhattan Criminal Court in New York, which has found him guilty on all 34 counts for falsifying financial documents. The maximum punishment could be anywhere from 3 to 4 years up to 136 years, but the information says that he can get away with them by giving a huge penalty. And there is an interesting data. On 15th April, his popularity was 46% only against Biden's of 45%. May 16, midway, the first time when the case started against him, this is in between, his popularity rose to 50% when that of Biden went down to 42%. And now after this verdict, Trump's popularity has risen to 56%, but that of Biden has come down to 38%. If I am there, I am not going to vote any of them, friends, but try and look for some alternative, different from these capitalist monopolies, warmongers. Thank you, friends. See you tomorrow.